All right, Larry Krueger here from the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show on a Saturday with a 49er update as we come to you on Saturday, December the 13th, 2025. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on today in 49er news. All right. Well, first, there was a Diana Rossini report saying that the 49ers and Brandon Aiyuk, the Niners were hoping that Brandon Aiyuk would show up and practice, and he hasn't. And so it sounds like they've kind of given up hope that he's going to come back this year. And that was the first news that broke, about an hour or so ago. The 49ers, Matt Mayoko, is also reporting the Niners placed Brandon Aiyuk today on the reserve left the squad list, which makes him ineligible to return to action for the remainder of this season, according to Mayoko. So obviously the Niners gave Aiyuk some kind of an internal deadline to come and practice with them if he was going to be part of them this year, and he opted to not do that. And so you heard Kittle earlier in the week say, it doesn't look like he's going to be here. You heard Lynch, when he was asked about Aiyuk, said no update, nothing to update. And then you had Diana Rossini reporting earlier today, expect a resolution soon between the 49ers and Aiyuk. And now you have Mayoko saying that the resolution has come to that it's come to fold here. It's Brandon Aiyuk on the reserve left squad list, and he is ineligible for the remainder of the season. This is probably the final chapter of Brandon Aiyuk's career with the 49ers, and it's just unfortunate. The whole thing's really unfortunate when you think about what kind of a player this guy was. Obviously, he was a good enough player to earn a sizable contract from the 49ers, and yet he never seemed happy with the Niners after that contract was signed. It was almost like there was so much bad blood. At least, I don't know, at least maybe he felt there was some bad blood between him and the team in how things, came together with the contract or whatever. Obviously, there were some harsh feelings, bad feelings, whatever. Then you had the shorts situation. He came out to practice not wearing the uniform shorts, and Shanahan called him on it, told him to turn, change the shorts and the whole thing. I don't know that any of that's really the problem, or more just symptoms of a relationship that's kind of gone bad. But either way, I think Brandon Aiyuk is done with the 49ers. And this guy was a first-round draft choice in the 2020 draft, 25th overall, and he was a good 49er. His catch against the Lions in the NFC Championship game that vaulted the 49ers really into the Super Bowl against Kansas City. So, he's a great Niner. He's on paper, you'd say he's got a lot of, he's in the prime of his career. He's 27 years old. Now, you can make an argument that if he hadn't had the severe injury, that his best football lies ahead. Now it's all really related to how does he recover from this devastating 3-tear injury that he suffered last year in Week 7 against Kansas City. And here we are. It's mid-December, and he's not playing. Now, is he not playing because he's not healthy, or is he not playing because he's unhappy? Or is he not playing because the Niners took away his guaranteed money and he doesn't want to play for them anymore? I don't know. Brandon's not talking. The Niners aren't talking. All we're getting is just, dribs and drabs of this. But it did seem like they were speaking out of two voices when the Niners took away his money, and then were hoping that he would come back and play for them this year. So Mayoko's had that report. Rossini's had her report. We also have a report today that CMC is questionable for tomorrow's game with a back injury. And, my sense of it was, and I don't know if you guys could tell, but over the last 24, 48 hours, I've been suggesting on my channel that the Niners go with Brian Robinson. Why not? You got a 2-win football team. You're at home. Brian Robinson has been a starting NFL running back in the past. CMC is leading the universe in touches. This is the perfect way to slow it down. You're not going to get him into a game and then just, not use him. It's like you're going to either probably sit him out a game, and this would be the perfect game to sit him out. So do I really believe he's got some back injury? I'm sure it's legit. I'm sure he's got a bunch of different injuries right now, and the back's probably among them. But do I think that CMC could play on Sunday if it were Super Bowl 60? Yes, I do. But I also think it's smart. I've been saying they should do this, and I think they're they're taking not taking my advice. They're not listening to me at all. But I'm just saying, I think I'm guessing right along with Shanahan and Lynch and how they want to run their football team. This guy is their best player. He's an essential key cog. It's a totally winnable game without him. They would never admit to sitting a healthy player, but if he's got a back injury, fine. I bet you anything, if you told Christian McCaffrey, what injuries do you have? He's probably got more than a back injury. He's probably got this and a that and a shoulder and a wrist and a ribs and he's a running back that's taken a ton of hits. He's leading the NFL in touches by a wide margin. So this is a great way, if they do sit him out, to just manage his workload a little bit. The key is keep him fresh for the Bear game, because the Bears are giving up 5 yards of carry to a lot of teams running the ball. Niners need to run the ball in that game to protect their defense from the Bears' explosive offensive players and the Bears' really powerful offensive line and their explosive and powerful run game. So you're going to have a lot of CMC in that game. So why not? Why not? Game, you had the week off, the bye week. Now maybe you give him another week. He gets 2 weeks off right in the middle of the year, officially recharge. And if you win this game and Robinson looks great, maybe you give him next week too. But I would definitely keep CMC rested for that Bears game. I want him in that Bears game to be ready to go off. So he's listed as questionable. I bet you anything he doesn't play. I just think they're smart not to play him. There's a long way to go. They need him. They've been using him a ton. They can win this game without him. You got another running back there who's a starter. Use him. You got Brian Robinson. So I really expected something there. I thought, especially with the illness earlier this week, he missed a practice because of illness. It's like, hey, if he's if he's a little under the weather, we know he's been used a ton. Best way is to see if you can win this game without him. And I think they may go that route. Juice is going to play on Sunday. They said that. Brent Jones, by the way, is going to be honored in the 49er Hall of Fame on Sunday. Way to go, Brent. Tatum Bethune, Sam O, Yatir Gross-Matos, Nick Martin, all remain out for the 49ers. None of those guys will return. Eddie Pinheiro will return for the 49ers. That was one of the news of the day. Also, the Niners have activated from the practice squad Jalen Graham and Sebastian Valdez. And you know what? This might not be a bad game to dust off Valdez and see what he can give you as a situational rusher. He's got a lot of juice, and he looks great in practice. I'm telling you, I was standing right next to him this week, and the guy looks great because he's fresh. He hasn't played. He's fresh. He's ready. He could help you in the pass rush game. I would be so intrigued if they could get Sebastian Valdez on the field and get him producing in some kind of a rotation as an interior rusher. He could be one of the final pieces to the puzzle in their run to the championship this year. He's got a huge motor. He's got a lot of talent. He's the kind of guy that can wear out, but they haven't used him, so he's fresh. So I think that's going to be an interesting guy to watch the rest of the way. Sebastian Valdez looked great in camp. Has only been activated one time, wasn't actually played in the game that he got called off the practice squad. Hopefully they will activate him and play him because I think there's some pass rush there that he's ready to contribute. So the big news of the day, though, it looks like Brandon Aiyuk's definitely done with the Niners for the year. And if you're like me, you think that there's a very high likelihood that they're going to move him or release him in the offseason. And so he's played his last game with the 49ers. So number 11, if you have a number 11 jersey, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to recommend for you. But as far as Aiyuk, really good player. For whatever reason, the communication broke down, and it just didn't. Him and Shanahan couldn't get on the same page, and then they took away his guaranteed money. He obviously did a number of things to have that money taken away. He didn't want to be here. So, bottom line is, if you don't want to be here, you don't want to be here. It's like, and it's pretty clear that he doesn't want to be here. And so what can you say? I mean, that's it. I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy. I don't know. I'm very curious as to what kind of football he's going to play going forward. He had a devastating injury It's going to take a while, but maybe next year he'll be fully rehabbed. My guess is he goes to the Commanders and joins Jaden Daniels there in Washington. Adam Peters there in Washington. Debo's in Washington. I definitely could see him in Washington. So I think it's smart if they don't play CMC against the Titans. I think that's smart, and bring on the Titans. Should be a hell of a Sunday at Levi's. All right, thanks to Pig and a Pickle for being the title sponsor of the Krug Show. Thanks to all of you guys for supporting the Krug Show on YouTube,